But the problem is, anytime you talk about our natural inclinations as men and women, our natural predispositions, our natural basically default settings of who we are designed to be, anytime you're talking about that, people in a liberal society are going to be automatically on edge because they're waiting for you to say something that they can take as offensive. Because in their mind, when you say a man uses logic, you're inferring that women are unintelligent. Men and women are different. Get over it. It is not a misogynistic statement to say that men and women are different. What you see on platforms like TikTok and all these other SJWs, hyper liberal platforms, is people who look at life through the lens of being a victim will take offense to literally everything. It doesn't matter how you say it. It doesn't matter how many disclaimers you put in the videos. They will be offended by literally everything. You have to understand, when people say men and women are different, they're not saying one is more superior than the other. But of course, that's a difficult concept to grasp when you view your life through the lens of being a victim. Our differences are complementary to each other. Where I'm weak, she's strong. Where she's weak, I'm strong. That is how we were created. It is not hatred to state that men and women are different. It's not hatred, and it doesn't allude to anybody being more superior than the other. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to do a quick review of a video that I had taken down from TikTok. One thing I won't do is give a fake apology. I don't apologize for anything that I am not genuinely remorseful for. So this is not an apology video. I don't apologize for anybody's hurt feelings. I don't apologize for anyone's failure to seek understanding instead of seeking to be offended. But one thing I will always do is, if people don't understand my meaning, or I fail at accurately conveying my meaning in any video that I put out, I can at the very least provide a video where I offer clarity, where I explain my meaning further to further break it down. Obviously, everyone's not going to take the time to do that. Most people are going to take their offense and they're going to run with it. For the few people who actually want to understand my meaning, this video is for you, and the people who obviously watch my content or watch my videos. Stop telling women to hold themselves accountable. One thing that I always critique men on, especially in this society, is the fact that most men have fallen into this trap of trying to debate and argue with women. And part of that is most men are trying to back women into a corner to try to get her to admit her wrongdoings. I always tell men to stop doing that. And one of these argument pieces is always this idea of accountability. Clearly, she's able to take some accountability. Clearly, she's able to, at the very least, recognize her wrongdoing. You are called to be the leader. That is what this video is about. This video is about how men are equipped with certain spiritual gifts to help him fulfill the role of leader, a role that he was meant to fulfill in the household when it comes to relationships. That is what this video is about, is to bring out that message. Arguing and debating with a woman, your counterpart, who you're supposed to be leading, is counterproductive. You're not on your purpose when you're doing that. So that was the introduction to the video. Let's keep it going. This is the controversial part. To hold oneself accountable takes wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. My words exactly are: to hold oneself accountable takes wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That is the spiritual essence of masculinity. Not in her nature to do it. That is why you're here, so that you can hold her accountable. Does that mean she is totally incapable of holding herself accountable? No. When I say the spiritual essence of masculinity, I am not talking about individual knowledge or individual wisdom or individual understanding. Clearly, she's able to have individual wisdom. She's able to have individual knowledge. She's able to have individual understanding of things. That is not what I'm referring to. And obviously, in the video, I did not disclaim that. So I understand where people say, he's saying that women are dumb. Even though I literally did not say that in the video, at the very least, you might be able to argue that I implied that. And again, that was not my intent, but I am offering clarification. That was not my meaning. Because one thing I'm trying to make clear is, in this video, I'm talking about who we are just naturally as men and women in the setting of a relationship. If men in relationships are taking the leadership role, accountability 9 times out of 10 is going to land on you. That is not to say she is totally 100% incapable of acknowledging wrongdoing, or, as people would say, hold herself accountable. But when it comes to just our natural inclinations, our natural default settings, it's not in her nature to do that. The same way it is not in her nature to defend you first if someone were to break into your house, or you guys are walking down the street and some guy jumps out of an alley and points a gun at you guys and say, "Hey, give me all your money." It's not in her nature to do that because she is not the first line of defense. You're expected to, as a man, to be the defender. You, as a man, are genetically wired to be stronger, to be more assertive, to be more aggressive, to be more defensive minded for the woman. That is my primary meaning when I'm talking about something not being someone's nature. I'm not to say that she's inferior. It's not to say someone's more important or someone's more better than the other. But there are certain default settings that we have as men and women. If you don't understand that, if you don't accept that, you are at war with the truth of who you are and you need help. Now ask yourself, can I say all of this in 1 minute? Can I express all of this in 1 minute? Absolutely not. This is exactly what I mean by people want to be offended. They don't want to understand. They don't care about understanding. They're at war with the truth of who they are. They don't like anyone who exudes order. Because when you start talking about men and women and you start putting things in categories, when you allude to order and structure, you're going to be shamed. You're going to be demonized because this society is lawless, man. These people aren't governed by anything. And so when you start to show that order, when you start to show that structure, people are going to be upset. It's inevitable. It is not sexist to say that women need guidance. That shouldn't be a controversial thing to say. You as a man are called to guide your woman. People don't want to understand that there is just a preordained order of how things should function in a relationship. That is the bottom line. People want to create their own spin on things and people want to do all these other different alternative things instead of what actually works, instead of what actually has been proven to work for thousands of years. And when people look at everything from the lens of a victim, if I were to say women need guidance, some moron is going to say, "Oh, well, so are you saying women are just mindless drones and they're just dumb without a man?" No, that's actually literally what I did not say. The same way she needs masculine guidance is the same way a man needs feminine support. For me to say a man needs feminine support, does that mean that he's an absolute weakling without her support? No. For me to say a woman needs guidance, does that mean that she's a mindless drone that can't think for herself? No, of course not. But unfortunately, people who look at life through the lens of a victim will always find issue with what you say. There are certain things that are not in a man's nature to do. There are certain things that are not in a woman's nature to do. That's just the reality of it. We say that women are naturally caring and nurturing and good with children. Why? Because women are the child bearers between both of us. She is the one that brings children into this world. So biologically and naturally, she's likely going to be better with children. Does that mean a man is not caring? Does that mean a man is incapable of being nurturing? No. It's just one person is more predisposed to be one way than the other. There's nothing wrong with that. But you know who it is wrong to? People who don't want to be who they are. People who have issue with who they are. People who I always say are at war with the truth of who they are. Men and women are different. Get over it. Like seriously, get over it. That is a fact.